Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is about 5 universal tips that helps us to heal. These are of course tips that have helped me in the past on my healing journey. The reality is that bad things happen to everybody, and when bad things happen to us, it is always difficult to just leave it behind because it always lives within us. It lives within our bodies and it lives within our minds. And sometimes we experience these memories, and the only way to heal them is really to bring them to the surface and to process them. So these are my 5 universal principles of healing. Number 1, stay in the realm of what you can handle. Meaning, don't do too much. Very often we say, okay, I just want this to be behind me. I'm just going to dig in and start and pull everything to the surface. And the truth is, it's easier said than done. So do things that are smaller. Take smaller chunks of processing emotions. So don't jump into the deep end because you might find that it's very uncomfortable and it actually sets you back more than it's helping you. Number 2, be gentle and compassionate with yourself. It's so easy to take a big stick and just beat yourself up. Why didn't you do this? Why couldn't you be better at that? Why did you go there? And replay all of these things in your mind. It's also easy to compare yourself to others and say, oh, mine is not as bad as that, or oh my goodness, nobody understands how bad mine really is. The truth is that no two people in life experiences an instigating event in the same way. It's either traumatic or it's non-traumatic, and the memories that are associated with those depends on whether or not the experience was traumatic or non-traumatic. The instigating event could be anything. It could be a car accident, it could be a stillborn, it could be losing a job, it could be financial debt, it could be having to learn to walk and talk and eat again, but it could also be a miscarriage. Whatever the instigating event is in your life, it is not comparable to that of someone else's experience because the experience of that instigating event is different for everyone. So don't compare yourself to anybody else. Don't compare your instigating event or the experience of your trauma and your memories to that of someone else. Your feelings, emotions, and experiences are valid and own them for what they are. Number 3, before you start, ensure that you have good support system. If you have a good family structure, rely on your family. Ask them for help. It's one of the best things you can do for yourself. Asking for help is an act of self-love. If you can find somebody in your support system, whether it's an ally, a friend, a family member, or just a colleague, know that the hugs that you will receive, the support that you will receive, the warm tone of voice, all of this has a positive impact on our nervous system. And our nervous system then has the chance to send positive signals in order to take off the edge and restore our system to the calm state it's meant to be in. And so don't underestimate the power of support. Support can be found in your daily life, within your home or outside the home, like in a support group. For me, when I was experiencing an instigating event and my health was suffering, it was the solace that I found at the support groups for health. Number 4, make sure that you turn to positive coping mechanisms and be deliberate and intentional when you do this. It's so easy just to find negative coping mechanisms and to stick with them. Negative coping mechanisms usually are mechanisms that we use to cope and suppress our emotions and feelings in order to avoid them. Negative coping mechanisms could be binge watching, it could be scrolling, it could be alcohol, recreational drugs, or smoking. But if we choose positive coping mechanisms, it can help us improve our overall health. Positive coping mechanisms could include meditation, journaling, and if even religious or spiritual coping mechanisms could include finding the purpose in what had happened to you through religion and spirituality. Positive coping mechanisms could also be improving your diet and nutrition, and also engaging in exercise such as running or going to the gym. My favorite positive coping mechanism is spending time with my pets. They are always so loving, and I think other than the love of a child, there's nothing more unconditional than the love of a pet. And lastly, it's important that we understand the feeling of the disturbance on our spiritual heart. taking that which is inside and bringing it to the outer world in order to process it. So we're taking the emotions and feelings that are implicit within us, and we are bringing it to the outside and making them explicit. When we do that, it can be very uncomfortable. My tip here is, when you have difficult feeling and emotion, and it's starting to cause a disturbance on your spiritual heart, at that point, understand that you have to allow the feeling and emotion to come to the surface. Once it comes to the surface and you can feel and hear the words within you, allow that also to come out. Say the words out loud. Feel what it feels like when it falls on your ears. And at first, it's going to be so uncomfortable. I don't want you to feel bothered by that, because I promise you over time it gets better. Become comfortable with the idea of hearing your own voice and understanding how it feels when the sounds and the words washes over your ears. You can also then, when you're comfortable, move it outside and start sharing it with those close allies that we spoke about in your support system. Notice their reactions and notice what that reaction brings up within you. If you feel a disturbance when that happens, know and understand why you feel that. Once you do that, you will see that you will be able to process those emotions by bringing them from the inside to the outside and taking them from implicit to explicit. It's important to be very clear about your intentions. Set the intention and then follow through. Those are my 5 universal principles for healing. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe, like, ring the bell, and comment and let me know what else you would like to hear. I'll see you again in my next video.